So at about 4 in the morning, GMT, of course, I woke up. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you how. Through that 4 in the morning, it's now at 5 p.m. because, I had to go to work, come back, have the time to actually record this video. Um, so I had the time to kind of think about the news. The news that So I kind of came to the conclusion that this morning, let's say that I felt a disturbance in the force. I wake up, still half asleep. It's those brief moments where you wake up and then you go back to bed 10 minutes later, but those 10 minutes where you are semi awake, you remember you are awake. You are, your brain functions. To look at the time, because of course I don't have an alarm clock or anything, or a radio clock that displays, that always displays the time. I went to check my phone. And I saw it. I think the first tweet I saw mentioning it was the actual repost or something to that effect. Maybe not a repost, but basically it was Proton, who you guys might know who he is. Proton saying "Rip Toriyama," and I'm like, huh? What does that even mean? Is this a joke? Is this did he die metaphorically, creatively? Did he do something stupid? No, I open it up and then I see the post from the Bird Studio. And it's only now, more than 12 hours later, 13 hours later, I now start to realize what happened. What the news that it's been going on for a week now. That we lost the most, how can I say this? We lost one of the most brilliant minds, if not the most brilliant, in my opinion. Because, Dragon Ball is my favorite anime. For God's sake, I mean, I do have a tattoo of his work on my chest and actually on my heart. I have it tattooed in bright red ink. And I am planning to have another tattoo on Shenron going up my arm. That is a project that I'm working towards. I'm only now starting to realize and to, take it in what the news was. Akira Toriyama, the inventor of the most successful manga ever, passed away at age 68. I don't know what to say. I've been trying to collect my thoughts, and to come back to a thought that I had a few months ago is Dragon Ball has been going on for 45 years now. and the anime as well, you know? Because my thought at the moment was not for Toriyama himself. It was actually for the seiyus, because of Bulma's passing away. The seiyu for the voice actor, the Japanese voice actor for Bulma, we are, on a clock for. I talked about this, I think, in my Dear Shuichi or Dear Toriyama video. We're on the clock. They're not going to be immortal. They are not on borrowed time, but on counted time. Meaning, they're getting pretty up there in age. Like the Seiyu for Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, everyone. I was actually expecting them to go. That's, does seem like an asshole thing to say, but I was totally expecting them to go first before Toriyama, because 68, it's so young still. I know that, Japan has different culture. It has different, they have different goals in life. And, just the culture is different. So I'm pretty sure that the mangakas, they don't have 2-year vacations between chapters. And I know that, I'm guessing that it's pretty stressful to be that high up, or to have that pressure on you, the most successful anime, the most successful manga ever. For God's sake, the Shueisha reported that, or Toei reported that Dragon Ball, or who was it? I don't know who it was. I think it was Shueisha. That Dragon Ball was the most successful, and the IP that grossed the most amount of money for 2023 or 2022, one of the two. Either it was last year or the year prior. Without even, I think it's 2023, without even having anything anime-wise out. No game, no movie, just a manga. Still, it was their highest grossing IP and franchise. Above Naruto, above One Piece, above everything. Dragon Ball opened the gate to the majority of countries to accept Japanese cartoons and to broadcast Japanese anime and manga, or to sell manga in those countries. There were anime before that. I'm not saying that there weren't. But the big jump to mainstream and to these big budget or big, franchises was Dragon Ball. We had Astro Boy. Yes, we had Fist of the North Star. Those old-timey cartoons. We have that there's a pirate in space. I forgot what the name is. But we had those old-timey cartoons. But see, I can only cite you 3, 4, maybe 10 in the span of 10 years? 20 years, where now you can, since Dragon Ball, you have 100 anime that come out per year. And Dragon Ball opened the step, opened the gate, paved the way for those after him or after it to, bathe in the same light that Dragon Ball did. And that's all thanks to one brain. That's all thanks to Akira Toriyama and his undying will to create manga. Because Dragon Ball was not his first manga. I believe I watched a video of Totally Not Mark, I believe, who does amazing videos, by the way, on this topic, or about manga and anime in general, who explained the journey that Akira Toriyama went his first few years as a mangaka. Fascinating. The determination, the will to be successful, to try new things, and to hone his craft, and to sharpen his skills as a storyteller. Either it being, tragic, emotional, or comic. Or, comic, Dragon Ball, for example, was very humor heavy. And it went more into battle shonen, but it was very gag heavy at the beginning. And it was great. Dragon Ball has always been great. Have there been, less, let's say, entertaining or less successful arcs? Of course. There's always some downtimes, and even the greatest stories. But we all know and we all remember that the heights that Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z went, I don't think that anybody I'm gonna go, out on the limb here and say, and anybody and never will reach again. Dragon Ball was a phenomenon, or Dragon Ball is not over, but his creation, the man was a phenomenon. His brain was pure gold. Maybe Toyotaro will be able to finish the story that Toriyama Sensei wanted to, tell. Maybe Toyotaro can finish the manga by himself, because I'm sure Toriyama told him where he wanted to go with the story. The main story beats. I hope he can finish Daima. Give an homage to Toriyama. Because even though he's gone, he's not really gone. His work, his passion, the values that he instilled in all of us Dragon Ball fans, through Goku, through Vegeta, all the life lessons that we learned through Dragon Ball. not to judge too harshly the people that, might not agree with us. That people can always change. That who you view as your enemy might not be really your enemy, but might be just misguided. I think those were values that Toriyama believed in, and he conveyed that through the story of Dragon Ball. And that's one of the reasons why it worked. That's one of the reasons why it was so successful. It could reach us, and we could identify with him. Dragon Ball and the legacy of Goku, the legacy of Toriyama will live on much beyond his years, much beyond his passing. In 100 years, Dragon Ball will still be the golden standard. It is after 45, so I'm sure in 100 years it'll still be the same. His brain children, either it's Sandland, Dragon Ball, Dr. Slump, Dragon Boy. I'm sorry, I don't know the rest of them. His little projects that he had. Jaco the Galactic Patrolman, I think was the name of that. Dragon Ball minus everything. All those works of art, all those pieces of work that he did, that he worked on, that he poured his soul into, will stand the test of time. And they will be forever cherished, compared to, and it will never, ever be matched. Ever. So Toriyama Sensei, we have loved your work. We are thankful for every drop of sweat, every stressed second of your life, every pencil, every spot of ink, every drop of ink you used to make the masterpieces that we now all love. It is with a heavy heart that I say, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. You will be loved forever, and you will never be forgotten. May your soul rest in peace. And of course, I want to extend my deepest, my sincerest condolences to, of course, his friends, his family, and all his loved ones. We didn't know him as well as you did, but rest assured that the impact that he had on us will be felt forever.